Okay, for the last 4 videos we've been starting to consider what it means to have gospel fluent conversations. There's much more to be said, and I want to encourage you to go and read the book by Jeff Vanderstock, Gospel Fluent Conversations, Gospel Fluency actually I think it's called, and I want to encourage you to do that because there's much more to be said. What I want to do now is just to ask you a question, to think about this particular situation and to think about how you think you might approach the situation. Imagine you're the leader of the children's ministry and one of your leaders is running a Sunday school class. This leader, well, let's put it this way, didn't prepare very well for this Sunday, and what's happened is the class has got out of control. Kids have been everywhere, parents have been upset. It's now past the time when you've been meeting, and people are starting to approach you and say, we believe the Sunday school got out of control this week. What are you doing about it? Now, in your heart of hearts, you know that the leader that you have oversight of has perhaps not prepared so well and not been ready to do what they're going to do, and yet at the same time you know that they're a really sensitive person. And so that if you go to them and say, look, I think there's a problem here, and I think perhaps you didn't do the best thing by not preparing for the class, and perhaps you could have approached this a little bit differently, that she might get upset. And so the question is, how would you apply the gospel to your heart first of all? What do you need to hear in order to have that kind of conversation? What kind of things might be going on in you that make you fearful about having that conversation with your leader? And then secondly, if we're going to have gospel fluent conversations, what does it mean for you to approach that leader? Recognizing that they're a brother or sister in Christ, recognizing that they too have fears and concerns and they need to hear the gospel, and yet at the same time perhaps also need to improve the way they approach their Sunday school class. How might you go about doing that? Now, your answers to those questions, I think, will actually start to indicate whether you're a gospel fluent person or not. And if you're noticing a gap, can I ask you to consider this? Where's the gap? Is it in your knowledge of what to say? Is it in the skill of delivering that knowledge with someone else? Is it to do with your own heart in terms of the way your heart is working and what you're prepared to do and not prepared to do? Or is it in the area of the enemy? Is it something that you need to be praying over for a period of time to think about how best to approach this? You can see how these sorts of areas start to influence that kind of conversation. What would that be for you? And once you've sorted that out, why not find someone else and talk to them about this situation and see what they would say? And guess what? You'll be on the path to developing gospel fluent conversations. It's been great to meet with you. I hope the book is a great help to you, and I hope that you continue to have gospel fluent conversations. Thanks.